What's good, everybody? It's your boy Sincere, whoissincere.com. Check the website out. Just want to come to everybody today and talk about God. Had an interesting conversation with a couple young ladies on Facebook earlier. Good people. But it got me to thinking about a couple different things about folks that don't believe in God. So, a couple good points, came up during the conversation. One of the points was, it's quite funny that there's so many people that don't believe in God, don't believe this country or this nation was built on God, but everywhere we turn, God is reflected in our culture. Whether we're talking about our judicial system, where the judges are sworn in, or whether people are getting on the stand and they're swearing on the Bible to take the stand. Where did that practice come from? So there's so many different examples. Here's another one. Your money, our financial system. So religion and God are used in our country exclusively throughout our government. And for folks that say, this nation was never built on God, it's not a Christian nation. I've never seen Buddha on a dollar bill. I've never seen reference to "in Buddha we trust," or "in Muhammad we trust," or anyone else. And that's not to downgrade any other religion or anything like that. It's just simply to say what this country was built on, what our forefathers had in mind. Now, were there some of them that had underhanded concepts? Oh yeah, there's quite a few of them that had underhanded concepts. But, at the end of the day, hey, nobody said Christians were perfect people. So if they were Christians, they definitely weren't perfect people. And especially the ones that had their hidden agendas. So, for anybody that, claims that this nation wasn't built on God, that's a sad lie. That's a mistake. Don't lie. You know the same truth that I know. Yes, it was built on God. And I can go on with the examples, but I just use two big ones like that. Another thing, let me just say this too. For people that believe we need to have a godless nation, I don't agree with that. Let me tell you why. Knowing that this country was built on laws, a lot of those laws were built on moral values. Moral values come normally from godly values. So everyone that's living right now and is enjoying godly morals. Everyone that's living right now. And if you're living under civilized law, you're enjoying godly morals. So, what do you do when you take God out of that equation and you don't base your law, the practice of law, on God anymore? Now you base the practice of law on opinions, just like we're seeing now. Opinionated law. Opinionated law is a dangerous concept. Opinions with no moral concept, no moral scope. It's a dangerous concept. Where does it stop? So if we take God out the equation, I'm just be honest with you. Don't expect morality. You're not going to get morality. It'll last for a little while because there's still a lot of God-fearing people in this country. But what happens when that goes down? Morality goes with it. I promise you that. There is no morality in being immoral. So, our nation has a tricky way of trying to explain God and trying to explain that God doesn't exist, and trying to push him out pretty much. And that's okay, because God said there would be people like you. So I'm not offended by it in any kind of way. I'm just saying though, at the end of the day, don't act like God's not real, especially for you people that don't worship God but worship Satan but say that God doesn't exist. Come on, man, that doesn't even make sense. So at the end of the day, we know that God's real. If you don't want to worship God, that's fine. Just say, I don't want to worship God. But as far as God not being real and not having a place in this country, completely incorrect.